Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. The government shutdown entered its 28th day, the second longest in history, and it's affecting Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP benefits, a federal program that helps millions of Americans pay for groceries using government funding. The USDA announced yesterday they're not distributing those benefits next month, saying the government shutdown froze payments through the Department of Human Resources. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us how that's affecting residents here in Alabama.
EBT buys all our groceries. If we don't get our benefits, then it's going to be very, very difficult for us. I'm worried about it.
Those benefits, totaling over $140 million statewide, are federally funded. With the government shutdown entering its fourth week on Wednesday, many federal employees are now relying on SNAP benefits in the absence of a steady paycheck. But the suspension, beginning on Saturday, leaves people with less than a week to find some form of food assistance. Local food banks are stepping up to help out everyone that's going to need the assistance. They tell me the suspension is going to impact more than 750,000 Alabamians.
We hope that it's going to get resolved as soon as possible, but hope doesn't really make for a great plan, so we wanted to make sure that we were prepared. So we have food available. We have more food coming in. What we have generally in our warehouse does turn over every month. So we're distributing over 1 million pounds of food every month. So yes, we have food right now, and we will have food. We've been doing this for a long time. This is when, we know how to get food out to the community. We, specifically help during emergencies, and that's what this is.
And DHR SNAP Director Brandon Hardin says any benefits left over on an EBT card before Saturday can still be used, but no new benefits will be awarded during November.
Please submit your applications, your recertifications, and any 6-month reports so that when this shutdown is lifted or our funding is no longer suspended, that we have the ability to go ahead and award you as quickly as possible.
The DHR is urging people who need the assistance to reach out to a Feeding Alabama affiliated food bank, which covers the entire state. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Fox 54 pulled the numbers to see who receives food benefits here in Alabama. Here are some of the highlights. The biggest age group of recipients, children, they make up 43% of those receiving SNAP assistance. More than 323,000 kids across Alabama depend on these benefits for their daily meals. The program also serves as a lifeline for seniors and people with disabilities. Nearly half of all households receiving SNAP have a disabled member, and about a third include a senior citizen. The average benefit amounts to $6.31 per person per day. And contrary to some common misconceptions, most of these households are working. 3 out of every 4 SNAP households in our state have at least one person earning a paycheck using the program to bridge the gap between low. For those families, the assistance is modest, averaging out to just more than $6 a day per person. We'll have a full breakdown of these numbers on our website, fox54.com. And here's a live look out from Madison, atop Rainbow Mountain. More cloud cover, but we're overlooking the city and very peaceful and quiet. Joining us tonight is Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. But that may change, Jordan.
Yeah, definitely going to change as we head into the later part of the evening, and then as we head into the overnight. The peaceful conditions that we've had across the Tennessee Valley through a good chunk of the afternoon are eventually going to begin to transition to some breezy conditions and a fair amount of widespread rain across the Tennessee Valley. Still talking about a little bit of light rain, potentially, across the Tennessee Valley. Emphasis here on light rain. If this activity is actually making it towards the ground across northern Madison County, beginning to creep into Jackson County. We're also maybe talking about a little bit of light rain in Lawrence County, Morgan County, Decatur, down into Hartselle, and then northern Limestone County, and even portions of Lauderdale County. Potentially talking about a little bit of light rain. This activity is associated with a much bigger system, a large area of low pressure and a cold front extending down from that area of low pressure. And this activity is gradually going to become more widespread as we head into the overnight and then encompass much of our Wednesday as well. We'll talk about it in great detail here in just a couple of minutes.
And an update you're getting first on Fox 54, the investigation into the death of John Scott Jr. while in police custody in Decatur is now complete. We've learned the Madison County Sheriff's Office, which took over that matter, has submitted its finding to the Morgan County District Attorney. Scott, a 39-year-old father of 5, died back in April after a confrontation with Decatur police during a mental health crisis. His family filed a $100 million federal lawsuit in August, alleging officers used excessive force, kicking, punching, and tasing Scott. despite, they claim, knowing he was in crisis. The sheriff's office tells us its review was, quote, extensive and thorough, but is directing all questions about the findings to the Morgan County DA. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. Florence police investigating the death of an 11-year-old boy found in a car. According to the Florence Police Department, the boy was found unresponsive by Hermitage Place apartment staff yesterday, who began life-saving efforts before emergency crews arrived. The boy was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police confirmed the child was a student in the Florence City School System. The body had been taken to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences for an autopsy. Anyone with information is asked to call the number you see on your screen. At the bottom, it's 256-760-6557. A Guntersville mother has pled guilty to child abuse just before her trial was set to begin today. In November 2022, prosecutors say that Carmen Casanova's 2-year-old daughter was found unresponsive and with severe injuries. Medical experts determined the injuries were caused by violent abuse. Casanova, identified as the suspect, and multiple witnesses and a family member were prepared to testify against her. She faces up to 99 years or even life in prison, with sentencing scheduled for January. The child is now living with her adoptive parents. Funeral services have been set for a Huntsville family who died in a Montana plane crash nearly 2 weeks ago. Mark Laney and Ellie Anderson's flight took off from Billings, Montana on October 17th when the plane made a sudden sharp turn before disappearing from radar. Search teams found the wreckage the next morning in a remote area of the Bob Marshall Wilderness. All 3 were pronounced dead at the scene. The family will be laid to rest this weekend. Visitation is Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Southwood Presbyterian Church. The funeral at the same church Saturday at 11 a.m. And the family asked attendees to wear uplifting colors to honor Mark, Laney, and Ellie. A court date postponed again for a key suspect in the abduction of Huntsville realtor Ronald Dumas Jr. Dumas last seen on December 15th at Mid-City Liquor in Huntsville, and here's video of that. His car was later found abandoned on I-40 near Memphis the next day. Dumas' family has offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to his whereabouts. One of the suspects in custody, Quintarius White, was scheduled to be in court today, but that has been reset to December 10th. White faces a litany of charges in Tennessee, including aggravated kidnapping. He currently has an extradition order in Alabama as part of the Dumas investigation. His co-defendant, Kiara Clark, to the right, was already denied bond in Huntsville and Memphis. A Morgan County man behind bars tonight on multiple child pornography charges. According to the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, they executed a search warrant last Wednesday in connection with the child pornography investigation. This led to the arrest of Michael Browning, pictured here, on more than 16 charges. Browning was arrested and taken to the Morgan County Jail, where he's held on a $450,000 bond. The city of Huntsville is looking to add even more residential and commercial areas reaching into Limestone County, and it's part of a massive new development called Westmore Landing. Nearly 400 acres of land for the project were recently annexed by the city just off the interchange between I-65 and Interstate 565. Westmore Landing is a planned development that could house up to 3,000 homes, businesses, and amenities. City officials tell FOX54 it's a project similar in scale to Providence in Madison.
When housing comes, it really needs a lot of supportive uses. You want to be able to shop, you want restaurants, you want schools. So the other thing that we note is we have been having discussions with Huntsville City Schools about how we provide schools out there. They should probably have some more discussion about their plans for out west, because we do have a site already identified for elementary/middle school to help serve that new growth. So it's really all about planning ahead and making sure you're incrementally adding all the things you need out there for sustainable growth.
The commission says the project could take years to finish and still needs to go through a vote by the city council. We'll have updates for you on this development as we learn more.
I'll always go with the slogan that the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror.
Organizers for a job fair in the Rocket City aiming to bridge the gap between employers and job seekers. FOX54's Logan Alexandra Russell tells us how. And we go to Morgan County for this week's FOX54 top teacher, who is big on keeping her third graders engaged. We get to meet her. Stay with us. A major effort to help job seekers in northern Alabama is happening today. The Huntsville-Madison County Chamber teamed up with the Alabama Career Center, local colleges, and nonprofits for its relaunch career fair. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell spoke with one man who's experienced the job fair's impact firsthand.
24 companies are registered for today's career fair, and the spokesperson for the chamber says they put this career fair on twice a year. Now, anyone who is new to the workforce, who is returning to the workforce, or even looking to switch careers were able to come out and speak to all the companies here today. The chamber hosting its relaunch fair today at First Baptist Church. The event bridges the gap between local companies and under-resourced workers. Candidates could register online or in person. Opportunities in advanced manufacturing, healthcare, education, and more were available. After being laid off from his previous company, Courtney Patterson attended last year's fair and landed a job at Huntsville Utilities. He had this to say to those searching for work.
We always open. I'll always go with a slogan that the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. So whatever you've been through in the past doesn't mean that your future's not bright. So look at the brighter situation, be more positive, be opening, and be willing to change.
Patterson says everyone has an opportunity for growth, but they have to take that first step. For those who couldn't make it to the fair today, spokesperson Annie Davis says go to asmartplace.com for more resources. From Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Wow, I can imagine the turnout too. It seemed like there was a lot of people there at that job fair.
Oh yes, when I first got there, the parking lot was extremely crowded.
Oh boy.
Yes.
And from what I understand, it's not only an opportunity for people who are new to the job market, but those who want to kind of revamp their career or may have gotten laid off, but they're looking for opportunity.
Right, yes, this was really geared towards, like you said, people who are new to the workforce, people who are returning, or even people who are looking to switch careers in general.
Yeah, and talk about the collaboration, because from what I understand, there's colleges that were involved. There was, I think, a career center.
Yes, so there were a few colleges that were there. One of them was the University of Alabama, as well as different companies like for manufacturing, as well as healthcare. So it was a variety of different businesses and companies out there.
Yeah, definitely much needed in those career fields.
Oh yes, definitely.
Thank you, Logan Alexandra. All right, well, let's see what's coming up. Galaxy of Lights returns to Huntsville Botanical Garden, but buyer beware of where you purchase your tickets. We explain in just a few. And Jordan, how is weather for the rest of tonight?
Yeah, we're beginning to see a little bit of light rain develop across the Tennessee Valley. That activity is only going to become more widespread and a little more intense as we head into the later part of the evening. We'll discuss it in just a couple of minutes.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher. Sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
I'm excited to introduce this Morgan County teacher. It's her first year at a new school, and she's already making an impact on her third graders, her peers say. Well, I walked into her class myself, and I am inspired. Meet this week's Fox 54 top teacher, April Thovson from Kateka School in Somerville. For third grade teacher,
okay, we need to regroup, don't we?
April Thovson. It didn't take her long to know this
How many ones do I need to trade?
is her calling.
I knew that this is what I wanted to do early on, and then my oldest son had learning disabilities, and so with that I knew that I had something to give.
Thovson has been teaching for 12 years, coming from the Madison County school system. She spent 7 of those years teaching third graders, and it's her favorite.
Yes, it's a good grade. It's challenging, but yes, I enjoy it.
This year is her first year at Kateka School. Thovson says she spends her time building in areas where her students need help the most.
My kids were working on a program that they use weekly, while I worked with students one-on-one where their needs were. So what they need to fill gaps or to help get them where they need to be.
Her principal, Ben Estes, says third grade is an important year for kids, and Mrs. Thovson meets the need.
Super critical that they get the skills they need, and she's been doing a great job of giving them those skills. I think she just dives into her work and just really cares about making sure that she's active and engaged.
Thovson says it also takes creativity to keep the students engaged.
They're 8 years old, so they need to move around. The recess in PE is not enough.
And Thovson hopes when they move on to fourth, she's done her part as a teacher.
Oh, I hope that they know everything they need to know to be successful in third grade. And I hope they don't forget me.
You are certainly unforgettable. Congratulations, Mrs. Thovson. You can find her full interview and the moment she was surprised as the Fox 54 top teacher right here on Fox 54 Plus. Also nominate a deserving teacher at fox54.com.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
And here's a look from Bell Tower Road from earlier today. This is over in Tanner. You can see, this is actually quite a beautiful shot of the cloud cover. Once again, it kind of looks like this cloud is reaching toward the camera, but very beautiful.
It's I'm glad you keep coming up with things to say about the clouds, because I'm running out of stuff.
Well, it is beautiful.
I mean, it was a beautiful shot, I must say. But my problem with the cloud cover, and I think I said this yesterday, is the cloud cover looks very much like fall, but the trees aren't the really pretty colors to kind of match the vibe. So the vibe is just not totally vibing, and that has me somewhat upset.
The vibe is not vibing.
Yes, the vibe would be vibing if we had the cloudy skies of late October paired with reds and yellows and oranges and a good excuse to use my leaf blower that I recently purchased.
I kind of missed the trees though. I was so focused on the clouds. I didn't even get a chance to really, because you saw trees in the shot, right?
There were a couple of back off in the distance, but most of them aren't changing colors yet.
We need our vibrant colors.
We do need the vibrant colors, and honestly, I just don't think it's going to happen a lot this fall. We're talking about a little bit of rain across the Tennessee Valley, across far northeast Alabama, maybe talking about a little bit of rain, Morgan County down into Coleman County. The vast majority of us are dry this evening, but rain is gradually going to begin to become more widespread over the next couple of hours, all thanks to a very large area of low pressure and a cold front extending down from that area of low pressure. There's a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity associated with this entire system, and a lot of it is going to begin to push its way into our neck of the woods. Mostly the shower activity, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, but we're not going to be talking about much in the way of any thunderstorm activity for the most part as we head into the overnight and then through the early hours of your Wednesday morning. We're just going to be talking about rain and maybe some gusty winds at times, wind gusts 25 or 30 miles per hour. So maybe deflate your inflatables before you go to bed tonight, or those inflatables could end up taking flight. Even as we head into the later part of Wednesday morning, we're still going to be talking about some isolated, widely scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. And this activity is going to continue even through the early part of the afternoon, maybe becoming a little more widespread as we head into the later part of the afternoon and then through the early part of the evening. So unfortunately, the gloomy conditions are only going to continue across the area as we head into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. and then through the overnight early into your Thursday morning. The good news is that as we head into Thursday morning and then through the early part of Thursday afternoon, we're actually going to begin to lose some of that rain across the area. Maybe a couple of light showers for the Thursday morning commute, but then by the time we get to the lunch hour, a couple of breaks in the cloud cover. I think we're actually going to get to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. Rainfall totals anywhere between a half an inch of rain to an inch. Now this rain is definitely needed. Are we desperate for precipitation? No. Could we use a little bit of rain? 100% we could. Looks like we're going to be dry on Halloween. We'll be dry on Saturday. Small opportunity for rain on Sunday, and then other small opportunities for rain Monday and Tuesday of next week. As a matter of fact, if we look at your Halloween, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the lower 60s. Really not a bad day. Below average, that's for sure. The average high temperature right around 71 degrees. And then if we're talking about trick-or-treating, the time of the day that you really care about, maybe just a touch chilly, 54 at 6, 50 at 7, 48 by 8, 47 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock Friday night. Temperatures currently sitting in the mid and upper 50s across the Tennessee Valley. We drop into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight. Got a low right around 50 degrees. 51 at 7 o'clock in the morning, 50 by 8, 52 degrees as we head into the later part of the morning. Again, maintaining that opportunity for some scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 54, 56 Wednesday, Thursday, 61, 62 Friday, Saturday. Don't forget the clocks are going to fall back this weekend. Sunset on Sunday is going to be right around 4:45 or 4:50. So I guess you've been warned. 56 degrees. 67, 66 Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Buyer beware, the Huntsville Botanical Garden is warning visitors about Galaxy of Lights tickets being sold by unauthorized third-party vendors and online scammers. The annual light display has become a target for resellers and fake ticket offers on social media and third-party resale sites such as Vivid Seats. To make sure you're getting a legitimate ticket, make sure you buy directly from the Huntsville Botanical Garden. For more information, go to fox54.com.
Alabama A&M is now down to their third-string quarterback for this week's game at Grambling State. We'll talk to Coach Sam Shade about that next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Over the weekend, Alabama A&M getting thumped 56-13 by arch rival Alabama State in the 84th edition of the Magic City Classic. The Bulldogs have now lost 4 straight games to the Hornets, but what's even worse is that they may have lost another quarterback to the injury bug. Let's begin with the starter going into the year, Cornelius Quad Brown. The 7-year college veteran was meant to be the end of the year long quarterback carousel at Alabama A&M, and things started out great. He led the Bulldogs to back-to-back non-conference wins, but 2 injuries to the same same ankle sidelined him, and now his year is over.
Late last week, he had surgery on his ankle, so he's definitely out for the season. He's gonna apply for a medical red shirt. That's something that he talked about, and we're hopeful that he does get it.
So that's, I'm assuming if he does get granted that by NCAA, are you going to want him back next year?
Absolutely.
So Alabama A&M's goal is to have Brown back next year for almost an unheard of 8th year of college football. But what about this year? Well, yesterday at his weekly press conference, Coach Shade revealed that his backup quarterback also got hurt during the Magic City Classic. Eric Hanley has seen action in 7 games this year, and he's thrown for 886 yards and 7 touchdowns.
He's questionable. It's an AC bruise, so to speak, on his shoulder. So we'll know more later on today about his status, and hopefully we have him back for this weekend. If Eric can't go, it would more than likely be JD, and then Ashley, and then after Ashley, we've got one other guy.
Well, we'll find out when kickoff rolls at 2 p.m. You can check out the game live on SWAC TV between Alabama A&M and Grambling State. That does for sports. Let's send it back to the desk with Kanisha.
Thank you, Mo. Coming up on Fox 54 News after the World Series, a new development in Huntsville expected to take over 400 acres of land. We'll tell you what the city is planning for the site. State politicians are weighing in after SNAP benefits are cut by the end of this month due to the government shutdown. We'll hear what Senator Tommy Tuberville has to say. And new changes could be made in the wake of a deadly mass shooting in Montgomery, possible new regulations over who can sell alcohol. That's tonight on Fox 54 News. Before we let you go, a newly found Dr. Seuss book will be published next year. Sing the 50 United States asks readers to learn and name all the states. The manuscript was found earlier this year at the Geisel Library at UC San Diego. There was a complete text and a cover sketch, take a look at it rather, by the author, along with notes on the overall art direction. This will be the second Dr. Seuss book to be published since his death. Wow. Huh. I'm trying to remember when the first one, or what was the first one.
Should we know? Is that information that we should both know?